What a miserable end to a miserable trial and a miserable case. Or rather, maybe miserable isn't the word that should be used, but despair. Looks like this time, at least,
The victim had the last laugh?
obviously we're not quite at the end yet. Obviously, we're about to vote. But this is a trial that's just left me with a bad taste in my mouth.
It's left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
It's like I feel sad, sure, but I mean, I certainly felt much more sad in the second trial and in the fourth trial of Danganronpa.
Right?
This time I just feel like everything has gone wrong.
And it's all because of Nagito.
Oh, yeah, basically that.
All because of him.
Whatever twisted result he was going for.
He got it! And that's what's most frustrating.
How is this going to give us hope?
Nothing he has ever done or proposed was ever going to instill hope in anyone but him. Because he doesn't know what hope is.
You know, I hadn't actually thought about it like that, but...
His worldview is so twisted. He doesn't know what hope is. He doesn't know what despair is.
Well, looking at it like that, you know, Junko was the one who kind of popularized the concept of despair.
Despair.
And then, yeah, despair! And then the hope and despair shtick isn't the word I'm going for, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
quite what I mean.
The dichotomy?
No, not a dichotomy. The theme of hope and despair has always seemed to me to be somewhat arbitrary. Consider, if Junko wouldn't have been obsessed with the concept of despair, the concept of despair would not have been relevant in the game.
And I guess the same can be said of Hope and Nagito.
Exactly that. The characters in both games didn't really understand the meaning of this theme, except for the characters who espoused it. And it's like the whole concept of having to think about hope and despair, it was unnatural, and they didn't really do it until near the end of the game when it had been sort of rammed down their throats. But they only did it because it was forced upon them, and they eventually couldn't ignore it like that. But that means that it wasn't really there in the first place, that it's sort of arbitrary.
Artificial?
Yeah. I'm not criticizing that. What I'm saying is...
That's like an element of the game?
Yes. It was imposed upon the game inside the game. And that's why there's something about it that's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. You know, we began to embrace it a bit more in this game thanks to Nagito. And I don't necessarily mean that in a good way, but It's just fascinating how an idea imposed by someone, and they're the only person that understands that idea. They impose this idea on everyone else, and it makes us all think like that. It's like I was saying about Monokuma being manipulative earlier in this game, that he creates a situation...
And sits back and lets it unfold?
But we never would have thought about any of these things. The characters involved never would have thought about doing anything if they weren't sort of provoked. So it's like, it's just a lot of psychological provocation. I mean, ooh, fresh take, psychological provocation. It's just, I think...
Monokuma's a manipulative bear. Who would have thought?
I know, nobody's ever considered that. All I'm getting at is that I just think the whole hope and despair idea is also imposed, and that's fascinating. Like, artificial.
Cryogenically digitized.
Yes, it's cryogenically digitized upon to me, the Opinionator, because we're BSG.
We squared. Man, this intro got away from us, didn't it?
We'll never see it again. It's opened the door and wandered down the street, and I'm too lazy to chase it. Anyway, I realized that wasn't exactly polished, but it was all off the top of my head. Enough of the silly stuff. There's really not going to be anything else. I don't like the Future Foundation. I do like Chiaki.
Yeah.
I don't really see what she did that was necessarily wrong.
Neither do I.
But we don't know. Maybe she did.
I feel the same as everyone else. There's no way I can agree to this. Emptiness.
Yes, emptiness.
Loneliness.
That kind of miserable disgust.
Sadness. But most of all, I'm ashamed of my weakness.
What does he mean?
But even so, I have to move forward. If we believe in the person who's urging us forward, then we have to start walking. And believe with as much hope as possible in what lies ahead.
And having to rely on Nagito's luck.
Even so.
Yeah.
It's someone, you said something different.
Soredemo. It really was, huh?
I hope so, or we'd all be dead.
Well, yeah. I guess Nagito's luck won out. Gee, even I don't really feel all that good after this. Man, I pooped. Let's go ahead and announce the result. What an amazingly emotionally exhausting trial.
Shut
I was
up!
really hoping this would get you guys too. Anyway, the traitor from the Future Foundation. And wouldn't you know it, by great coincidence, Nagito Komaeda's killer is, after all, in the end, it really was Chiaki Nanami. Aren't you so happy? You guys got it right!
Are you serious? That was correct?
The fact that Chiaki was a traitor, the fact that Nagito's crime depended entirely on his luck.
I mean, every murder has relied on the killer's luck. This is...
Something like that, especially the last one. There were a lot of factors that just totally could have gone a different way.
I mean, Teru's ability to, I guess, hide the murder weapon, Pekko's ability to escape undetected.
Yeah, just this time around, it was...
Yeah.
It wasn't the will of the killer, it was the...
Will of the killee? I could argue that Nagito was the killer here, but
I still say, even though this hasn't come up, haven't we already dealt with it? Again, if we push this point, like, this has already impacted the result of a trial.
I know.
Because when we said that it was Pekko and not Fuyuhiko that killed Mahiru,
Monokuma was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I could be convinced, maybe.
and so he was convinced, so by the same logic...
Yeah, but he made it very clear who he was gonna...
Yeah, he already had it. He was going by the rules that we set. That's the brilliance of Monokuma, too.
I hate this Monokuma!
We talked him into thinking a certain way, and he used it against us. Or at least he used the same way we did it. Everything was true.
Damn it.
Plus, that means that bastard managed to pull it off! That's really the worst part.
I know.
Congratulations, everyone.
Damn it.
Stupid. We're not celebrating at all. You see how much everyone thinks of her as the traitor, right? It's because she's always gone so far out of her way for everyone else.
She's always helped everyone.
The difference between her and Monomi was just like, meh, platitudes. It hurts when you insult me. But Chiaki has actually tried.
Damn it.
Chiaki, let me ask you one more time. Are you really part of the Future Foundation? An agent of the organization that brought us to this island? Is that really your true identity?
I'm sorry I didn't tell you guys.
What?
That is...
I cannot believe it. Even though I do not want to believe it.
Even though none of them want to believe it, they still voted for her.
Yeah.
They had to.
They did not have a choice. There is no choice but to believe, right?
I'm sorry.
It would have been better if I could have said it sooner, but I couldn't say it no matter what. 'Cause I can't betray the Future Foundation. I mean, we obviously don't know why.
Well, she did drop a very interesting line, because that's how she was created. Can't betray?
Well?
Even if you want to fly, you can't, right? Even if you want to swim where you please, you can't, right?
Don't talk to me about flying.
It's the same for me. Due to the nature of my existence, I will never be able to betray the Future Foundation.
What the heck? But in the end, you did something similar. What you did is no different than sharing your secret yourself.
Oh, you're right.
Why?
That's what Monomi was being all impressed by.
Yeah.
Because she was able to, I don't know, betray her programming or whatever the hell that meant.
Now's not the time to be laughing. I don't remember exactly how that was phrased. That wasn't really what I was thinking about at the time.
I mean, I've certainly been joking about everyone being a robot, and even mentioning a robot trader. And then she said the way I was created.
Yeah, was that really what she said?
She said something about being created.
Or is it your deepest hope that what
Maybe I'm hoping for a coincidence.
that what she really is a robot trader, because all you want for Christmas was a robot trader and you haven't got one yet?
Well, it's a bit late.
Well,
But now's not the time to be laughing.
But strangely enough, I don't have any regrets. In fact, I'm somewhat happy. I was able to think I wanted to protect everyone. That's why I feel proud of my actions.
You're still saying things I don't get, but if we ask you anything, you're just not gonna answer, right?
Hey.
Like, if we ask why you were in the Future Foundation and stuff.
I'm sorry. That is...
Even if you were a traitor, you never betrayed us.
And that's the point!
That's the point I
That's
keep
the
making.
point.
It's why I can't be mad. It's like Sakura.
Yeah!
What did Sakura do that was bad?
She even stood up to Monokuma. Like, physically, in a death match.
I would most definitely prefer all traitors in situations like this to be like Sakura or Chiaki. Even, look, I don't like the Future Foundation, whatever hooey they try to give me about them saving the world. Even if it's true, it's not going to make me like them.
It's not going to change the fact that they allowed this to happen.
But it's also not going to change the fact that I don't have anything against Chiaki either.
Right.
So, unless it turns out that there's stuff that I ought to have against her, but what we've got right now... Chiaki, you will always be our friend, even now. We don't blame you for this. That's why you don't need to apologize.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
So the traitor was revealed, and Chiaki lost. In the end, it all went according to Nagito's plan, huh?
Like...
About that. Was that really Nagito's goal?
Well, that's what he kept talking about, was outing the traitor.
Is it really okay to say he was trying to find the killer and eliminate them? If so, isn't it strange?
Strange?
So...
I mean, we nearly lost, right? Didn't he always say he wanted us to win? And if Chiaki hadn't said anything, we definitely would have lost. We would have voted for Nagito, and that would have been that.
Are you going to attribute that to his luck, too?
You've raised a good point. That's exactly it. Oh, this is so interesting. Even though Nagito said he would weed out the traitor, he never said he would kill the traitor. That was all on you. It just happened to come out this way, coincidentally. Oh, how fascinating these games are. I can't wait for the next one.
I bet the traitor in the third game is going to actually be bad. Just to throw us off because we'll go in expecting them to be a good guy? Huh?
Yes, indeed!
Congratulations! You successfully stopped Nagito's plan.
What?
I mean, Nagito's plan was to reveal the traitor and kill everyone else besides them!
What?
Kill everyone else besides the traitor?
Are you serious?
That was Nagito's goal?
Huh?
Why would he do something like that? Of all to form a plan that only the traitor would survive? Is that bastard really that twisted?
Oh, wait, I'm dead.
No.
I don't think that'd stop him.
It's okay.
Okay? What?
Well,
I mean, it's not just Nagito's fault. If the circumstances had been different, he probably wouldn't have taken things so far.
Chiaki.
You really are a kind-hearted person.
You're the last person I want to hear that from. Huh? You think so?
Jeez, I wonder where you got your personality from.
Perhaps.
Maybe our dad and our big brother, don't you think?
She's referring to Monomi as part of her family. I'm just saying. That would explain why she doesn't know simple things like Girls' Day or where milk comes from.
That's true. That's true. I suppose that is true when it comes to those, but why does she have such an extensive knowledge of video games then?
Well, if she's a robot, doesn't that kind of make sense? Something sort of similar?
I mean, it could be plausible.
Also, if she is a robot, doesn't that mean she's not the real Chiaki Nanami, which means she would have to...
I have no idea! I refuse to engage on this!
Okay, fine.
Hey, don't go talking about your family all of a sudden! That's totally ripping off Teru Teru! All of these scenes have to be different!
Then I cannot lose to Chiaki. I'm not actually going to help you all, but... just like Chiaki and everyone else, even if I know it's a fight I cannot win, I must try to retaliate! Monomi, chop!
Eh? Retaliate? What on earth are you... What?
We'll no longer let you do as you please.
I'm so ticklish!
Stupid! Stop! What are you doing?
Is she going to self-detonate?
That's what I'm expecting. She's gonna self-destruct.
As they say, we shall die together.
I don't want to die with someone like you! That's gross! Well,
Chatsu, no!
well, what happened then?
She self-destructed?
Pretty lame self-destruction if all the bodies are left.
I mean, she's still in one piece.
That's what I mean.
Say,
What's going on? This doesn't even make sense.
huh?
Monokuma, like, die?
No.
I'm not dead yet!
A new one fucking came out!
For goodness sake, haven't we been through this before? Man, that surprised me. If only I didn't have a spare, I would have died.
I mean,
of
he
course,
never talked about having spares before.
he never had to.
That's true.
In the first game, he immediately got blown up. So it only makes sense if he had a spare. And then we saw that there's all of them that he needs, so... And then school mode is building more. Of course he had spares, it's just nobody could actually down him.
I can't lose.
Not yet. I'm not done yet. Time for another reference.
That's...
Hey, wait! What, really? You're going to do it like this?
Nobody can live in peace.
Look, this isn't Smash Brothers where you get one more stock than your opponent, grab them and leap off the edge!
Monokuma for Smash confirmed.
Stop it, I say! I'm sorry, I lose! Forgive me!
I mean, they're twitching and everything. And is this a different crater? This is kind of exciting.
Hey, not yet.
Seriously, stop it! If you don't stop right now, it's all going to be destroyed!
I won't forgive you.
Of course. I'm doing it so you'll all be destroyed, and I really hope that you don't have as many spares as I do. I will be the one to protect my students.
I won't let you.
I will protect them with my life. Monomi, you...
Hey.
Now then, how many of you are still there? You might as well come out all at once.
Ooh, how exciting!
How many? Well, I mean, I guess unlike the first game, not really that much. Just around 10 to the 60th power. More than you could ever need! Way more than's in your stupid little clothes rack! Oh, don't get me! I'm so scared! Oh, your determination! You'll surely beat me! Well, my stock has a Game Genie on it! There's a 90s reference for you all! You can't beat me!
What did you say?
What?
I don't know why you ever thought any of you could stand in my way. I beat up your fighter. I beat up your other fighter. I have everything entirely under control. I'm much worse than the previous one, and there's an infinite number of me. Really, why are you even wasting my time? 1 million? Hey, I know what 10 to the 60th power is off the top of my head. Neat, huh? 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 1 million, 1 billion, trillion, quadrillion. Jump ahead, 10 to the 52nd, 10 to the 56th, and 10 to the 60th That's 10 to the 60th power.
So you didn't know what 10 to the 60th power was?
That's a number that cannot even be generated or conceived of by us as humans.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between like our position and the position of stars.
Hey!
After all this, you're still joking around. You sure have quite the daring spirit.
The entire world is made up of my spares, and everyone in it, and all the living beings. And if you count all the insects, and maybe all the plants, we might be approaching this number. Wow, what a terrible place. An entire existence made up of nothing but Monokumas. Monokumas wearing Monokumas, carrying Monokuma briefcases, walking through Monokumas on top of Monokumas, to Monokumas, to talk about Monokuma, to Monokumas with Monokumas.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
That really is despair, you know. Except, I'm not joking! What are you even saying anymore? Didn't you see that scene?
Which the... Oh.
While you're doing this, my clones are continuously and endlessly created in the Monokuma manufacturing facility. I don't mind lying through my teeth. Whoever said I was going to tell the truth about anything?
You know, it's funny, in the first game, we suggested there was a Monokuma factory underneath Hope's Peak, and then now there's a Monokuma factory in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those were just stuffed animals! That's right! Right? I checked them with my own hands! They're just plushies!
Damn it!
We even were assuming that's what they were until he said they were plushies. You're just bluffing. Monomi, finish him off!
Hey,
Even if it's just a plushie, as long as you give it Monokuma's personality and the ability to transfer a mega bazooka onto my arm,
Or grow buff?
it becomes a fully developed Monokuma.
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, I haven't tried the Buffakuma bit in a while either.
There's no way that's possible! That's not even magic! It's almost like reality isn't what we think it is.
Oh, Hajime. Magic? Magic doesn't exist in this world. Magic isn't real.
Could it be?
Have you already obtained that much power?
Ah, the power to be woven into the fabric of reality itself.
Did you collect those 7 mystical orbs?
Hey!
Hold on! If you bring up magic so suddenly, we're gonna be so confused! Not that you really care about making sure we understand stuff. Unless you mean magic in a technological sense, we won't understand this at all!
Hey!
What's going on? Don't tell me. They're not gonna call this magic or something.
Well, I mean, any sufficiently advanced technology may be seen as magic by those less technologically advanced.
Kazuichi?
What? This is my shtick.
Well, I really don't care how you interpret it, actually.
In the end, even if Monomi risks her life or does whatever, it doesn't matter to my army of 10 to the power of 60 strong! There's no value in that life you're risking. So how about this? This overwhelming despair! Does it make you dizzy from excitement?
No, it actually makes me feel better. Just like you said, it's almost like this isn't real.
Uh-huh.
Something as ridiculous as this can't possibly be in the real world. And I mean, although I resisted it, I'm willing to believe that giant Monokuma robots are rebuilding Mount Rushmore and smashing through the world. That's way more plausible to a guy who's seen as much robot anime as I have. And an army of 10 to the 60th power Monokumas, that just makes it seem more like this is a digital world.
Now, it's possible that even if this is a digital world, that the people who die still die.
Sure!
But, yeah.
It just means that the world isn't made of Monokuma.
Right.
There wouldn't be enough salmon to satisfy anyone.
What's this?
And how many Monomis are left to challenge my army of 10 to the 60th power?
Like, 5 or something?
I think it's more like 12, something like that. You don't have to say anything. I know. Let's see. You just have 10 more left, right? I do have a camera in your room.
David was correct.
I know everything! I am the conqueror of the new world!
And if he does know everything that goes on regardless of cameras, that would also kind of point towards it not being real, like simulation.
I can't lose.
I won't give up, even if I have no chance of winning.
It's okay, Monomi.
Huh?
I do respect the desire to just say, I've taken a stand and I won't go any farther. Like, this is it, and I'll do it everything I have. But if you have some way of winning, you should maybe back off and do that instead of pointlessly throw yourself out, but...
Sacrificing yourself to stop the enemy is pointless if you don't stop the enemy.
Yeah.
Well?
I respect the bravado, though. It's not about giving up, you know?
Let's believe in them.
Let's believe in everyone, and leave the rest to them.
But...
Right?
Damn it.
What the hell is going on?
I
I do not know for certain, but the only thing I can say is...
Please listen.
Monokuma is an enemy of the Future Foundation. That much is clear!
Right?
Does that mean there's another organization that's our enemy besides the Future Foundation?
The other organization may have been mentioned in passing.
World Ender, Ultimate Despair,
Take your pick.
This is bad.
the local Rotary Club.
I don't think that one so much. We're in this situation because we're caught up in a dispute between these two organizations?
Damn it!
Okay, that's it. Let's just leave that talk for later. Just like the last game, I fully intend to end this one without any information of any import being revealed whatsoever. That's called satisfying. Because the punishment time's gonna start!
Oh, good.
You've all been waiting for it, and I've utterly ruined the mood! So be prepared to laugh and sing as you watch your friend, who is purportedly dying for you, goes.
Hold on! Just a little more. Just a little more time.
To wait or not to wait? That is the question. Whether the slings and... Well, anyway, but which will cause more despair? That's the real question. If you think about it, you know, right? I'm not going to give you any more time to talk to your precious little friend. There's no way I'd wait.
Joke's on you. It doesn't advance till I hit the button, so I can take as much time as I want.
Very well then, we squared. If that is the challenge you have set before us, then so be it. You sit here and don't press that button, and we'll see who has the last laugh and who wins in the end. I cannot believe you actually waited that long. Billy, you did this just to spite David, didn't you? Well, you want to keep going?
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I haven't...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Hajime. Regardless, there's nothing else I can say. I'm not allowed to say anything more than I already have, and maybe that's kind of funny considering what's about to happen. I mean, what am I gonna do, get punished?
Not that,
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Chiaki Nanami, the ultimate gamer!
Special pleading service.
Or, I mean, whoever she is, and, I mean, maybe for Monomi too, or something like that. Why, even Monomi? It's just a 2-for-1 special. She's still got more spares anyway, so it won't really matter,
I
right?
suppose so.
I could have killed the thing any time I wanted, since she's not a student. And also, I don't need anybody that will defy me anymore. Oh, also, I remember now. I'm an only child.
That is...
What is that?
It's okay.
It was just a comedy routine anyway.
Yeah, calling her his little sister. Even if I'm here, just be a burden anyway. Not just that. I've decided to believe in everyone.
You guys, I'm sorry about so many things.
I wonder if Monomi, unless she is just a sentient robot, if Monomi has an operator, then...
Right.
I'm sorry for lying to you.
Didn't really lie to us, though.
Well, she did.
I mean, yeah.
But
I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you to the very end.
like I said, if you're going to have somebody lying to you as the traitor, isn't this the one you'd prefer to have?
Yeah.
The one who looks after everyone, tries to raise their spirits, and tries her best to keep,
And
like,
even in
group
the end,
safe.
sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
Just one last time, let me say something that makes me sound like a teacher. There's no need to be a hero. You don't have to force yourself just to make people acknowledge you.
Huh.
When you do that, you end up blaming yourself, blaming other people, and feeling jealous of everyone.
Huh.
But still, it doesn't have to be like that.
Well said, Monomi.
Even if people don't acknowledge you, you just have to be someone that you can be proud of.
But you have to be someone that you can be proud of.
That's the thing.
'Cause you yourself are your biggest supporter. If you can learn to love yourself, that love will continue to support you for the rest of your life. Love, love.
Well, I guess she actually had something good to say at the very end.
Bye, everyone. It's okay. A shining future will always be waiting for you.
I wonder if that's the Future Foundation's slogan.
It's true. It's absolutely true. Cause I know. Bye-bye. Please don't forget about your teacher.
Monomi is one thing, but for Chiaki to just face her death with a smile on her face like that, with the others, there's always a regret. There always has been.
Yeah, but she doesn't seem to have that.
Yeah, I'm not saying there hasn't been a resolve, too, in some of the cases, like especially Gundam, but
there's always been a regret.
But there's always been something. In his case, you could see it on his face, like with that ... frightened face, and then he starts making some excuses. So, that's interesting.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Both of them.
Is he gonna come back and drag? Ha 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 ha. How miserable. Because she didn't do anything. Just tricked into killing someone else, but the blow is all it takes.
Jesus!
The take, huh? Does that have to do with the fact that we gotta take out Space Invaders, or
Yeah.
Galaga, rather.
Please insert coin.
Mm-hmm. And now it's Space Invaders. And they're all pixelated. How does that happen, you know?
Huh!
And Chiaki never gives up until the end.
And now it's Pac-Man.
But of course there's no exit.
Tetris.
Ugh.
This is awful.
How horrible. Yet, I nonetheless approve. Not of the execution itself, but...
This was probably the most least disrespectful execution, if you think about it.
That's what I mean. She struggled so hard.
Even until the very end, I couldn't look away from Chiaki's final moments.
That's what it means to live, right? Choose life, right?
Don't just give in. Without realizing it, I'd fallen to my knees. A feeling of powerlessness spread throughout my body. It's over. It just had to end. Before I could ask what I needed to ask, before I could say what I needed to say, Chiaki vanished before my eyes. And I couldn't even tell her thank you. If I had said that, would she have been comforted a little? As she was executed as the traitor, would she have been comforted a little? I don't know. My chest just hurt.
I don't believe it!
Good gracious, that was such a big surprise! As for Chiaki, she regularly took on the role of point man during the class trials, as did Nagito too.
What?
And not only was she the traitor, she was Nagito's killer too. Boy, this seems like the sort of comment that BSG would make, but since they didn't make it this time, I decided to for you.
Oh, don't do us any favors.
Phew.
No, well, don't worry about it. There won't be any more situations where you'll need to rely on them.
Huh?
Wait, does that mean?
I mean, unless somebody kills someone else in the next 5 minutes. And now that annoying rabbit is gone as well, all of the obstacles that have been keeping us stuck on this island are completely gone.
Hey!
Are you serious? Can we really leave this island?
No
I shall
way.
now present.
Yup! Congratulations! With this, I shall announce the end of the killing school trip.
I just want to say something I noticed about that execution. There wasn't any blood when Chiaki got smashed.
There hasn't always been. Teru, for instance.
Okay, that's fair, but it would be kind of weird in his case if there was. But okay, I see your point.
For you 5 who've survived up until now, in defiance of everybody's expectations, I shall give you the right to graduate. I wonder if what's going to happen is they are going to decide to stay to finish this. Whatever that entails.
Maybe.
Thanks for all your hard work. Good job, everyone. You win. That's right. Even you, Kazuichi. You made it this whole way.
Are you really okay with that?
What do you mean?
There's still 2 days left. If you were acting like your usual self, you would be setting things up so another killing happens right away.
That is the first thing I said, wasn't it? You're right.
Stop it! What are you saying? What if Mr. Monokuma changes his mind? Now that he said we can leave, I'm going to suck up to him a little.
Like I said, even you managed to make your way through.
And I got blown up too! Also, you said you 5, like you were emphasizing that part.
Oh, you noticed that, did you?
Does the number of people matter more than the remaining time? That's why you're saying it's the end already, even though there are still 2 days left, right?
Because it was 6 who made it out of the last one. It matters that there are 5 people left.
You.
And none of the A-listers, the people who have had the, like Monokuma said, the point man roles.
Except Hajime.
In the first game, you know, Byakuya and Kyoko, they were the game. And of course they made it through.
I made it through too!
What?
30%!
Are you planning to make a volleyball team or something stupid like that?
Stupid fool!
You need 6 people for volleyball! Don't stay quiet. Say something! What's your actual purpose? You're our enemy and an enemy of the Future Foundation. So what's your true identity?
Why would I answer that? If And this part is important. If the future foundation is the world ender, then I will end the new world that the future foundation has created.
Huh?
No.
Well, you'll just have to look forward to the rest after the countdown ends. The hell does that mean?
Ah!
That timer has almost reached 0. If it reaches 0, everything will end. The future foundation's lame plan will be nothing but toilet bubbles. What a strange thing to say. And when that time comes, you'll know everything as a matter of course. You'll see all your questions answered in one go.
Well, something we can take from that is we're probably not going to die.
And then you guys will find out for yourselves just how messed up this new world is.
Hey.
I mean,
What does he mean?
I don't even know anymore.
Are we going to see a world full of Monomis that have taken over the world?
I guess it depends on how existential a route they're going to take. Huh? A new world? Don't go saying new shit all of a sudden.
Yep.
Well, just think of the remaining 2 days until the countdown reaches 0 as a bonus. You can do some extra FTEs or something, guys. I felt like I should. Don't go saying new shit all of a sudden. What an underrated line. What a great line that is. That's very good. Like, oh no, it's the end. You can't start talking about something new. Where's the hope and despair? By the way, where's the hope and despair? We had 5 people and nobody's talking about that now. 5 people and no Nagito.
Yeah.
Well, remember Monokuma still had the despair, that's all line.
Yeah, but then he kind of threw it away too. Because Nagito's not here anymore.
Maybe not because of that,
Well, yeah.
but... While you're at it, you should enjoy your life on this tropical island to the fullest. Because once you leave this island, here you go. Hopeless lives back home will be waiting for you.
Ah, gee, thanks.
That's what it means to win!
Monokuma's boisterous laughter carried on for what felt like forever.
Actually, I stopped relatively early this time.
Our questions, our worries, our sadness were simply ignored. The laughter just kept going. Forever.
There, are you happy?
As for what we did afterwards, honestly, it doesn't matter at all. I returned to my cottage for the time being and fell asleep.
I mean, now what? This is,
Oh, no Monokuma Theater!
or announcements. This is presumably the point in time when all the questions, or at least all the questions that are going to be answered,
Yeah.
are going to start pouring in as we're faced with, the final challenge.
And then
But-
they'll just add new questions that won't get resolved.
Well, that may or may not happen, but
Even after I woke up, my will to move my body didn't come back. That's why. Free time events. I didn't look back on everything that happened up until now. I didn't think about what was going to happen. I just kept praying that nothing else would happen. And burrowed deep into my sheets, as if I were trying to hide. In doing so, I was somehow trying to endure the long day.
the thing about it, I really do think more time ought to be passing, that these shouldn't just be like 3 weeks or something. But how amazing is it that everyone's been able to hold together so well over an obscenely short period of time?
Yeah, it's really impressive.
The power of denial, perhaps?
And then, the sun finally set.
Then again, if it is the power of denial, these guys are awfully amazing at it.
The ultimate denial. The day feels abnormally long when you spend it praying that nothing happens. Which reminds me, I haven't heard Monokuma's announcement.
Ugh, why should I even bother?
I guess that isn't needed anymore.
You know there's going to be another trial.
There would kind of have to be. Is everything really going to end?
There will have to be.
What is everything anyway? How far? How much is everything? I don't understand! If we leave this island, is everything going to end? There's still so much we don't know.
It isn't fair if it just ends like this.
About our school memories, the Future Foundation, Hope's Peak Academy, Monokuma's true purpose.
If we just wander off, what was the point of any of that?
Everyone would have died for nothing.
For nothing. Well, maybe not for nothing, but for an unacceptable reason.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's sacrificing everyone here to the 5 who got to leave.
And if that wouldn't leave a bad taste in their mouths...
There's no closure. All you would have is regret. Let's talk about 999! All right, everyone who hasn't played 999 and doesn't want to be spoiled is gone, right?
Right?
Okay. The people who participated in the first Nonary game, Akane et al., and the people who had something to do with it, like Lotus, there's 7, their lives became dedicated to either finding out what happened in that Nonary game, why it had to happen that way, like running from it, or changing the result of it. That one game, that one escape game where only one person died, was so horrific of an experience that everybody who was involved just devoted the rest of their lives to their own way to finding closure for it. And that's what 999 was the closure for the preceding Nonary game. Because what happens is the second Nonary game in 999. If we just leave as is, it'll be that same thing. Looking at different organizations, like whatever the name of the... Was it Hojo? No, not Hojo. But anyway, the pharmaceutical company.
I don't remember.
It's like everyone involved will be looking back on what happened for the rest of their lives.
They'll regret it.
Like, you do see Junpei again, and he's just a miserable wreck. He's a miserable wreck because he couldn't accept what happened. But the problem is, how are you gonna, assuming we actually do get to leave, how are any of us gonna say, well, it's okay even though it's risky if we do stay? Shouldn't the same thing be to actually leave? But then we'll never have any closure, and we'll always have fear, pain, and regret, and saying it that way is so silly, because that's such an understatement. It's such an understatement of what those feelings that the people here would be leaving with. Compare the difference of the feelings that these people would have if they were to actually get to leave in one day now, I guess, versus the feelings of the original 6 survivors in DR1. Like, they left with hope in their hearts and a spring in their step and resolve for the future.
Resolve to face what was going on.
And exactly that. And here, we would be leaving with...
Nothing.
With fear.
Just despair.
With despair. I suppose that's it. The leaving with hope in the first game.
That's why we're allowed to leave.
Versus leaving with despair in this one. I think you're right about that.
That's why he's not, challenging us or bringing up anything that might lead us to fight him more. He's just like, well, you can all go now.
Yep, congratulations, you win.
Can we really end this and turn our back on all that?
No!
Just like they were saying.
But, yes, it depends.
Not just that. If we're really leaving, then where are we going? To Hope's Peak Academy?
Who could just do that? You'd all come in, a bunch of scarred, broken, crazy, PTSD suffering, deeply broken, deeply unforgiving human beings. Or robot traders, as the case may be.
That was my last night at Jabberwock Island.
Oh, really?
At a place where my worries didn't even matter. Everything was about to end.
Oh, really?
And then it blowed up.
Well, I told you! Oh! Under 9 hours.
9 hours, huh?
What were we just talking about?
I feel like I had a fun dream, somehow. I think it was about my childhood.
Aha!
Because of that, I was able to face the day with a somewhat happier feeling than usual.
Uh-huh.
That's right. It's the last day. According to Monokuma.
Yeah. Everyone will have, like, some sort of, is it okay to be happy that this is over? Kind of feelings going on. And also, are we about to go out into something that's even worse than where we've been?
Suddenly my body shuddered. Right when I opened my eyes, I was gripped by a fear that I had never felt before.
You would totally have a happy ending, except you managed to collect all 25 of the plushies. You've been sleeping with all of us here this whole time. It's the end. Time to kill you for no reason.
Oh, God!
How miserable would that be?
A fear like I had been abandoned in this world. Completely, utterly alone. With nobody left on this island. Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko, Akane, Sonia. Like everyone was gone and I couldn't find them anywhere. I suddenly couldn't believe in anything. Like everything in this world was nothing but lies.
Oh, yeah?
Like
funny,
it was fake or something.
Yeah, funny way to put that.
Ah! I rushed out of the cottage, desperate to escape that fear. I rushed out of the cottage, desperate to escape that fear, and
Beep, 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 beep.
line again.
Beep, 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 beep.
I rushed out of the cottage, desperate to escape that fear.
Beep, 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 beep.
I rushed out of the cottage, desperate to escape that fear.
Beep, 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 beep.
I rushed out of the cottage, desperate to escape that fear. I rushed out of the cottage, desperate to escape.
So, who's surprised by this? Whether
I'm feeling kind of smug, actually.
whether it's Hajime being a robot, which I was pretty on board with for a long time and never was not necessarily. Needless to say, you went from Hajime's the robot to everyone is a robot traitor except for Hajime, who is just a robot. But anyway, whether it has anything to do with that or digital world.
Right?
So, I mean, what type of, oh my God, we've only been saying it since the beginning.
Error, error, error.
Blue screen of death.
When I left the cottage, I randomly ran into her.
Hello there.
Ah!
Ah, Hajime, good timing.
Good timing? What do you mean? Hold on, I kind of get the impression that this should be freaking me out.
Hey, I think.
See?
Remember Nagito's video message that we found at the factory?
Oh, really? Yeah, when we were dealing with the bomb ruckus. What about it?
Well,
Apparently there was more to that message inside that laptop. We shouldn't have just given up, huh?
Huh?
yep.
We weren't able to see it until a day or so had passed. Apparently it was locked by a timer. Did he set it up so we wouldn't be able to watch it until after the class trial?
Why would he do that?
Perhaps.
Gee, maybe there was a robot traitor. Maybe Nagito planned to leave this as a will. Hey, by the way, am I like inside your consciousness or something? Or is just reality in general starting to break down?
Ah, well, don't worry about it, Chiaki.
Alternately, perhaps you've gone completely crazy and you just think I'm here with you. Isn't that great?
Nagito's will. I could think of worse ways to go insane.
I don't particularly want to go insane.
But if you had to go insane, I could think of worse ways to go insane. Well, where is it right now?
Okay, now I kind of want to leave because that's really creepy. You just announced that you'd much prefer to be my stalker. We were just planning to meet at the restaurant and watch it together.
Got it. The restaurant. Okay.
Why don't you go and examine Nagito and Chiaki's doors?
I think maybe I should.
Hey, something felt really nostalgic about that.
Nagito, I can't believe you actually left a will. Fine. Then I'll make sure to listen to your last words. Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start. Sorry, guys. Don't lose. That's amazing.
She's putting in
cheats.
She's putting in a cheat code. You know, I remember something that I had brought up in the first game that, I mean, of course turned out to be totally wrong. But it was the idea that we were playing a game and that people who lost were getting ejected. Well, maybe that's not so wrong here.
She's marked out on the map.
Nobody else can see me. Just you. You're a stable human being.
She's a ghost in the shell.
The thing is, we certainly don't have some giant, oh, what the heck, reaction, and it feels kind of odd. I mean, I definitely want to know what the heck is going on.
I also want to know what the heck is going on.
But I'm not really surprised.
Yeah, like you said, we've been talking about it since the beginning.
Hey, you're late.
Is it true? Nagito really left another message? Kneel before Miss Sonia and thank her. She was the one who found it. Hey guys, did Chiaki beat me here?
I was going for a walk with Gundam's hamster. There you go, Billy.
Yeah! I just wish they had a more active role.
Is this episode going to be titled Billy's Vindication? Anyway, I was going for a walk with Gundam's hamsters, and I found it when I stopped by the factory.
Listen well.
A coincidence, you say? Wrong! That is the will of causality guiding you.
I didn't realize it was Gundam at first. It took me half a second to realize why this should surprise me.
So, are they all going to be saying something to Hajime as we move on towards this will?
Maybe. Huh? Why would Miss Sonia be going for a walk with Gundam? I never allowed that.
I said hamsters.
You did?
I think.
Damn right.
So anyway, let's hurry up and play it.
Yeah, you're right. Right, Pecco?
I was expecting it!
I wonder who's watching this message.
Is it the traitor from the Future Foundation? If so, congratulations. Looks like it ended the way I hoped it would.
Ended the way he hoped it would?
So Monokuma was telling the truth about that.
I guess.
Nagito was trying to kill everyone except the traitor. Damn it. It was just as Monokuma said.
Hey!
So he really set up the traitor as the killer, and he even tried to make them survive the trial.
For hope, if I didn't put my all.
But why would he do that? And if that's what he wanted to happen, didn't his hope kind of work against him? Or his luck, rather, is what I meant to say.
Oh, shut up with your causality-changing powers and let's move on.
Enough with your useless talk. It appears there's still more. You're right, Booyakasha.
And no one else is noticing? It's only Hajime that notices?
Mm-hmm.
But if everyone but the traitor is watching this video, then unfortunately I guess I lost. That outcome is the complete opposite of the hope I believe in. Well, and not that it matters for me anymore.
Are you kidding? I fully expect you to be commenting on this next.
Oh, how embarrassing would that be? I mean, no matter what the outcome is, it doesn't matter for a dropout like me. Now then, let's put this meaningless introduction aside and get down to business. Since I don't know who I'm talking to, I'm going to speak so that both sides will understand. First of all, you might be wondering why I did what I did.
Because you're crazy.
Well, I just took action after talking about it for so long. The special prize in the final dead room allowed me to learn a certain truth, one that I have yet to share with anyone. It'd be troublesome if everyone found out, so I already disposed of that page. But anyway, I was totally surprised. I mean...
Damn it! Yinning objoite kaum spizn. Whatever the heck that is.
Oh,
and
Ultra Dark Tides.
Oh.
The Future Foundation's traitor must have known that truth all along. Boy, remember when people were talking about existential endings? Okay, I gotta do it. Sorry for all of these, but these games that I'm about to be talking about, they're so freaking good. I'm gonna say some stuff about the ending to Virtue's Last Reward. I'm not even sure you remember that ending, do you, Billy?
Kind of.
Well, don't say it yet.
Up
We
there.
gotta give everybody a chance to actually decide whether or not they're gonna be clicking away or pausing it or moving forward, because we're about to totally spoil the crap.
I remember parts of it. I don't think I remember the full thing, though.
And by the way, Five Clo, you darn well had better be skipping ahead for this, because I know you're playing VLR as of the moment we're recording this video.
Same for you, Lily. So real quick, since we're talking about VLR, now that everyone who's playing it has skipped away, right? One of the characters in that was an android too.
The end of VLR dropped this crazy, ridiculous stuff where literally everything you knew,
Was wrong.
all of it was wrong. And the way that you're able to overcome it is you have to actually essentially, and this makes sense in context of the game, of course,
Yeah.
you basically have to go back to the beginning of the whole game and prevent anybody from playing it, because if you play the game, you lose. But then it turns out that there was consciousness swapping, bouncing around
Yeah.
all over the place, and that something like you, the player, or another consciousness from another time, but probably meaning you, the player, was involved the whole time, because even though you thought that Sigma's consciousness had been sent,
He had swapped places with his younger self, right?
the
'Cause that's how the
younger,
morphogenetic field works.
well, no, that's how this worked.
Oh,
though.
that's how that worked, yeah.
The younger Sigma was in the body of the older Sigma, and you thought it was the younger Sigma, and that's why when, like you say, like Sigma says something about being 21, and
And then you look at his arm.
No, and then Phi is like, if you're 21, then you have done a lot of drugs, because everyone else sees old Sigma, but because it's a visual novel, you never see who you're playing. So it's like, there is a character that is Sigma,
Yeah.
but you, although you are playing the Sigma that is that Sigma, the body that Sigma is in is of the older Sigma,
Right.
who engineered the whole thing, but it turns out that you weren't actually the younger Sigma in the body of the older Sigma. You were you, the player, in the body of the older Sigma that thought he was Sigma, or something like that. And that reminds me of another Uchikoshi game, which is one of the reasons that I kind of am making some of those points. The point is, when you're at the beginning of the game playing the AB game, you don't suspect anything like this. So to see that everything is going, batshit crazy, actually, it's what I've been expecting the whole time. I'm super excited about it. Okay, we're done. We're done with all of that. But like I said, I just love how crazy it gets. And frankly, I thought that Danganronpa 1 was tame, because it's like, I think...
Oh yeah, definitely by comparison.
Like, I think Escape Game, I think of stuff just going nuts!
But at the end of 1, we didn't even get confirmation if anything was true or not.
Which kind of was a little frustrating. But we are, everything's going crazy here, so...
And we are excited.
Heck yeah! So what is this digital truth?
Cryogenically digitized.
And so, I was able to learn the truth about this world, and resolved to take action immediately. I shouldn't have made fun of Hajime. Deep down, I always wanted to become a protagonist myself, but I'm just too tall with too many designs on my hoodie. It's like we're playing a game!
Oh god! Hold on. Check the web for details. 42MD and whatever the heck all that is.
But now that I know that truth, as I look back on Monokuma's actions, I'm starting to see what he's planning. By giving us information about the island's mystery and the Future Foundation, he's raising all your hopes. It's the idea of we are getting this information. It's not a coincidence that we're getting this information spaced out, particular bits of info at particular times. but only so he can lead you to unimaginable despair. Plus, Monokuma's trying to show that despair to someone. Competition, maybe?
Maybe to lure them in?
Perhaps that someone is...
Seriously pissing me off. Hell and Ice, 2IC, Ant.
So happy
believes
yours.
Something. Oodle K, this is only $120. So happy. Is that an emoji? Emoticons? Yeah, then the happy yours.
I like how you're trying to read every single bit. Jeez, what a hopeless truth. I hope you guys weren't really expecting to get something out of this.
Why is Hajime standing there drooling?
Who is Monokuma's true identity? How could they come up with a plan like that?
Now then.
But that's enough reflecting on the past. Let's talk about the future now.
Oh, do you think you're clever?
If you want to escape Monokuma's plan, there's a specific place you need to go to. And he's talking about, it's...
Talking about Hope's Peak.
Well, yes. Of course that. I still think it's interesting that he is talking to both the surviving students and the traitor because who knows? And you're right, it has to be Hope's Peak that we're going to.
Yeah!
I told you that place was important. I told you that all this time.
Sonia, I'm so sorry I ever accused you of being a robot and a traitor and the traitor robot. Can you forgive me?
The key to enter that place is that message you found at Nezumi Castle.
Ah, Leon.
Well,
Normally, you need to follow a bunch of steps to enter that place. But since that message gets rid of those steps, you can think of it as an Easter egg or something. It's a good thing that you figured it out in like 45 seconds of looking at it. It was probably left by someone other than Monokuma or Monomi. Even Monokuma said he'd never seen that spear before. Oh, I don't know that though. Whoops. That has nothing to do with me. You're still not gonna something or something. Stop it. Don't stop.
Good lord.
Who are we getting this from? We first got this message from Chiaki when looking at her door. Is it different people? Is it the Future Foundation or something that's sort of cutting in, trying to cut out what he's saying? Does it have something to do with Monokuma or Monomi operators?
Is it alter ego?
I had to hide this until my plan came to an end, but I guess now is a nice time to announce it, right?
If you could announce it without being all, jumbled up, that'd be great.
So then, I'll announce the password. 11037. I can't believe you ever thought it was Leon. That is the password that was written in Nezumi Castle. You have to use that to enter that specific place. That's the only way you can escape Monokuma. It'll be pretty awful, though, because you might be trapped in some other game. I feel like I've been talking forever, but that's all for me. With this, my noble duty is finished. I believe my actions will become the foundation of this world's hope. Especially if I killed everyone and only the traitor remains.
I'd say die in a fire, but you kind of did.
The die in a fire thing, I don't think it's actually come out much in the videos, but that's one of Billy's catchphrases, is die in a fire.
Yep.
And if that really happens, praise me.
Never!
Praise me. Tell others what I've accomplished. Tell them how much foresight I had. Tell them how cool I was. Tell them how amazingly sexy my hair is. Erect a bronze statue of me.
Don't say erect after what you just said.
Respect me. I could never learn to respect myself, so you have to. Then my life will have mattered.
Never.
Please call me the ultimate hope.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought something was happening to his hair. And we got to hear the password. That wasn't chopped out. or is it that the world is decaying? Maybe after
Maybe that's what the timer is.
Yeah, every 21 days they run out of memory, so they have to reboot the entire thing.
For those of you that don't get it, that was another giant robot reference.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Well, nothing about that was alarming or strange in any way.
The way we're reacting, that's the case, isn't it?
This was Nagito's final message. What do you think, Nekomaru?
That 11037 number that Nagito said was the password. There's no mistake in it. That's the password to enter that ancient ruin.
Hey,
You better hurry, I think. Let's go before the countdown reaches 0, or we'll all be back here again.
You're right. Let's go!
There's something wrong with you.
That bastard Nagito, he was screwed up till the very end. What was with that praise me crap?
Of course not.
After all the crap he put us through, there's no way we'd ever do that.
Alright, looks like it's finally my turn! I'll punch Monokuma so hard he'll go flying around the world! It never worked out for me before, but this time it'll definitely work, right? As long as Coach Nekomaru and me are here, we won't lose! Just leave it to us!
That's right!
Damn right.
Looks like the others have left already. We should go too.
Oh, thank God it's not just me.
What, are you scared now?
Of course not! Let's crush Monokuma's plan!
You're right. There's nothing to worry about, since everyone's here.
easy as pie.
Uh-huh. Now then, let us make haste to the ancient ruin. As long as we work together, we will not lose to Monokuma or anyone else.
Yes, we must go to the ruins. To go to the trouble of preparing something like this, Nagito was unpredictable until the very end.
So, what's this? We're not alone.
We're always together, you know.